everybody, Max here, and on today's Fix of Gaming News, Mortal Kombat 1 players have found a clever way to sidestep some of the game's microtransactions without breaking any laws, I think. Cyberpunk 2077 gets a massive physical edition, and Lords of the Fallen gets a literal bucket load of updates. Let's get into it. Mortal Kombat 1's aggressive monetization has been the subject of much criticism since launch. Most recently, fans were outraged to see that character skins that were originally unlockable through gameplay during Season 1 of the Invasions mode are now being sold for in-game currency. NetherRealm had earlier said that players would need to wait for a season to return if they missed its skins and other items, but presumably that meant if they wanted them for free. However, the community figured out a way to unlock these skins without waiting around or spending money. Time travel. This is especially fitting considering how much the game's story involves timeline manipulation. Twitter user IceCreamFGC posted the workaround saying, all last season's items can be purchased by changing the date on your PlayStation 5 to any date before November 11th. Load up your game, buy all of last season's items, and you can complete last season's Mesa. When you're done, change the date back to present day and you keep everything. It's possible this is a violation of MK1's terms and conditions, and it's possible NetherRealm patches this out by the time you hear this news, but it's also a trick that worked 20 years ago in Animal Crossing, so I don't know, it seems kind of like fair game and good on the community for figuring it out. That said, don't blame me if you try this and Mr. Rossetti pops out of the ground and pulls Johnny Cage's intestines out of his eye sockets. But hey, at least that's a fatality you didn't have to pay $10 for. Moving on, Cyberpunk 2077 is getting an Ultimate Physical Edition that includes the base game plus the Phantom Liberty expansion. But how physical each edition is ultimately varies based on what platform you buy it for. If you're a proponent of owning all your games on a disc, the Xbox Series X version is the way to go. This is the first game released for the console that comes packaged on 3 discs, and it's the only physical edition of Phantom Liberty anywhere. The PS5's Ultimate Edition includes a single disc that contains the base game, but a code for the expansion that'll have to be redeemed and downloaded separately. The Ultimate Edition of the PC version is literally just a box with a good old game's download code inside, which seems like sort of a baffling approach to physical media. CD Projekt Red spokesperson explained to IGN, quote, "The reason for the difference in how Phantom Liberty is included in the Ultimate Edition is due to technical requirements specific to each platform." If you're a fan of buying physical versions of massive next-gen games, you'll be happy to know the Xbox Series X version of Baldur's Gate 3 will also come on 3 discs and is expected sometime early next year, and then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth will hit PS5 on 2 discs in February. Lords of the Fallen, the Souls-like reboot that dropped last month, has been getting a steady stream of patches to address the usual post-launch issues like bug fixes and balancing, but the latest update sounds like buckets of fun, somewhat literally. The Way of the Bucket update features a new questline centered around the community favorite bucket-headed NPC and will include a new corresponding weapon and armor set as well as 6 new spells. There's already a broken bucket that can be used as a weapon in the game, and players didn't waste any time doing bucket-only runs because Soulsborne players are just weird like that, I guess. Other updates include decreased enemy density with up to 30% fewer enemies in certain areas, as well as nerfing the accuracy of ranged enemies at long distance and improving enemy leashing so players aren't pursued quite so far by the bad guys. But don't worry, the update isn't just making things easier. Developer Hexworks recently did a complete overhaul of Lords of the Fallen's bosses, improving AI, making them more aggressive, and adding to their movesets. IGN's Travis Northup reviewed Lords of the Fallen for IGN, giving it an 8 out of 10 and thoroughly recommending it, but his 2 biggest gripes were technical issues at launch and some underwhelmingly easy bosses. Travis eats Souls-like for breakfast, whereas I'm embarrassingly bad at these games and I actually rage quit this one after dying way too many times at the hands of enemy mobs, annoyingly precise wizard snipers, and big dudes who wouldn't stop chasing me down and kicking my ass. So it's awesome to see that all of our issues are being addressed. Aside from me sucking at games, there's no real patch for that aside from get good and all that. Anyway, Hexworks has announced a massive slate of free updates and weekly enhancements that are coming before the end of 2023, so if you slept on this game, it sounds like it's only getting better over time. Before we go, just a heads up that IGN is currently having a sale on annual plans for IGN Plus that'll reduce the price from $29.99 a year to $24.99. That'll run through Cyber Monday. It's our only sale of the year, and it makes Plus basically $2 a month. Of course, Plus gets you all of IGN with no ads, 15% off at the IGN store, and free monthly games, among other things. Meanwhile, the IGN store also kicked off its Black Friday sale. It is the store's biggest sale ever. Hundreds of collectibles are on sale, up to 75% off. There are lots of popular IPs. You got Zelda, Star Wars, Kirby, that kind of thing. Limited quantities though, so once they're gone, they are sold out. So get over there where you still can. And then finally, the IGN Deals team is working all through this holiday week, sifting through all the noise and crap and BS to curate the best deals on the games and tech that you actually care about. So check IGN.com, follow IGN Deals on Twitter, and subscribe to the IGN Deals newsletter. That about does it for your daily fix of gaming news for November 21st, 2023. We'll be back tomorrow with more news, but until then, for all of the biggest news and other stuff in the worlds of gaming and entertainment, make sure you are following IGN wherever you like to watch. Have a good one, everybody.